Hey, everybody, welcome back from Thanksgiving. Could we ever feel much finer? I would say no. I'm loving life as always, recording these videos. Today's is covering activity 3.1.3 data types, lists, and elements. We're going to make a social media post program here at the end. It's going to be super awesome. We're going to kind of get into some more stuff. We should be pretty familiar with data types. We're going to talk about lists and elements as well as things known as objects as we get going here. So here's lists and classes. A lot of really great information contained here. Definitely should read through that. We're going to dive in right here with exercise number 3. You can see it's going to have us entering some lists in here. We're going to be giving each one a variable name, surrounding it with square brackets, and then separating each element of the list using a comma. All right, so let's try it out. Now, I made a little bit of progress here. Let's see, where's my Cloud9? Here we go. So I made a little bit of progress here on kind of figuring out how to keep things organized. I had been having trouble before of getting programs to run when they were in these individual folders. So I had just resorted to keeping them all in the main folder, and that was working. But it's a little bit nicer to have an organizational system. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click on this, and we're going to go to new folder, and we're going to name this our 3.1.3 folder. And there we go. Now within this one, we're going to say new file kind of within here, right? Also notice that you can open a terminal inside that folder as well, so that the files in there will be accessible, through that terminal. Anyways, we're going to open up a new file here, and we'll just kind of call this one practice problems.py or something of that effect. All right, now let's open this thing up. Practice problems.py. Everything should be good. So let's test it out. Let's type in world equals, and then we'll do our square brackets here, and we'll do a quote W, comma. Okay, go outside the quote, comma. Then we'll do a quote O, comma, quote R, comma. Put the comma in the wrong place, comma, quote L, not length, L, comma, quote B. All right, good. There is our list world, which spells out world. There we go. Okay, we'll hit enter there. And let's get rid of that. Okay, world. And now let's see. So let's just print world and see what we get here. Go ahead and run this thing. Can't open the file. Well, now just when I thought I had solved the problem, it comes back to bite me again. Interesting. Okay, well, clearly I just don't get it. Let's pull it in here. We'll try to keep using the 3.1.3 later, but just for the sake of recording, now we still can't open it. This is quite interesting. What's the practice problems.py? No such file or directory. Maybe I'm using a improper naming convention. Let's drag it into 3.1.3. Let's give it a rename. Let's do an underscore right here, and let's make it lowercase, even though I don't think that will matter. Okay. All right, now let's try running it. Oh, and it worked. Okay, so I figured out my problem. I was using spaces in the username. That makes sense because what we're going to do later is upload. Anyways, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent. There's our world list printed out for us. Okay, perfect. Now let's go back to the activity, see what else we're going to do. Integers, you can enter in some of these right here. So let's see, print, yep. And there's our resulting outputs. You guys can check those. I think that's probably good here. Let's look at number 6, where we're going to nest a type function into the list itself. So what we're going to do right here is we're going to do a type right here with world. Oh, and then what do you think this is going to look like? Let's find out. I think what I think is going to happen is it's going to tell me string ORLD. Let's see what happens. Type string ORLD. I was pretty close. I kind of missed the type, but I at least had the string in there. There you go. That's pretty good. We're also going to look at number 14, where we're going to use the in list. we're going to check and see if something is in a particular list. Now, this has you go through a couple of operations that I'm not going to, or a couple of exercises that I'm not going to bother doing here on this video, where you make a food list and you check out some other things. Good exercises to do. We're just going to jump straight to 14 using our world list. So we're going to use this in list variable. You could substitute that for anything. Let's try it out. Let's say in blank li equals in list. Wait, now I forgot the syntax. So I'm going to have to look at it again. Okay, pizza in food. So what we're going to do is we're going to check and we're going to see if O in world. Now, what this should return is a value of true. In list should have a value of true because O is indeed an element of world list right there. So we can now print right here. So we're going to print a string which is is O in world list ? And then we're going to add on the value of the variable in underscore li. There it is for me. Let's put a colon right here just to make it look a little better when we format it. Okay, let's run this thing right here. Okay. Let's print cannot connecticate string and Boolean objects, right? I forgot about that. Okay, so let's add our str function right there. String in list. Okay, now that should be good. Let's run it one more time. Is O in world list? True. Okay, good. And we can even throw a space in there so it looks even better. Check it out now. Is O in world list? True. Very good. Let's just see if W is in world list, just to see what happens. I'm predicting it's going to be false because type string is in world list. There it is, right? Because we have a string, a type string, ORLD. All of that is in there. Okay. So we've gone through 14. Let's see. Let's do one more thing here where we're going to help you with your iterating on the combo menu. This is pretty cool. You're actually going to keep track of the order now with a list instead of with the we're going to use a list to keep track of the order so we can print it out at the end more easily rather than using a long chain of print statements, which works too, but this is a clean way to do it. A couple of things to note here. So with this one, you set up you set up the list at the beginning. You have the order, right? And you set up the indexes. I personally think this is the easier way to do it using the append list. And we're going to use it later on in the activities and in activity 3.1.4. So this is the way that I would do it. This append function has proven itself to be quite handy. As we go through here, let's check out how it works. So let's just append our order list. So now I can't remember, let's see, adds whatever the user entered to the list. Now I'm having a bit, okay, so yes, so okay, that's right. So you put the name of the list right first, and then you use dot append, and then whatever you want to append into the list, you put in the parentheses. So let's try this out and see how it works. Let's go right here. Let's add a character to our world list. And you know what? Let's get rid of this. We already used it. So let's try this. Let's see. World.append. And then what do we want to append? Let's append in an exclamation point like that. And then let's print world again. Okay, let's see how this goes. World. Okay, so you can see it worked. Let's just go back to a pure old W here. I'll run it one more time. So you can see our first list has world, and then our second list has world with the exclamation point attached down at the end. So if you create a new list like order equals, and then you just create a blank list like that, what you can do later is you can say like order dot append, and then hopefully you have a variable or something. Like you can use fry size or something, of that nature. Or you can just type in small fries, right? In quotes, sorry. Well, there's a couple ways to use a list in order to build up your program. Okay, so let's get into the last thing, which is kind of the main event here, if you will. And we're also learning something brand new. We're going to get some source files here from PLTW. I already downloaded them, so I'm just going to upload them. So let's see. If you click right here and you click, now I can't remember how to do this. Search in this folder, duplicate, refresh, open, download. How do we do this? Let's go to File, Open from Template, New File, Save As, Revert to Saves. Upload local files. So if you click on the folder you want to upload into, in this case, I want to upload into my 3.1.3 folder. And then I click upload local files. Now you can drag and drop, or you can select files. My stuff is kind of a mess, I won't lie to you, but here it is, CSE 3.1.3. I want to upload both the skeleton and the post.py. So let's go ahead and upload those. And there they are. You can see them appear right there. I think we got what we needed. So here's our post.py and our skeleton.py. So now before I dive into the actual code that generates this, I want to show you guys what it actually looks like at the end here. So let's go through here. This is me. I believe I created everything correctly. So this is what it's going to allow you to do. It's going to allow you to kind of create like a posting board and add things, remove things, change your username, all of that stuff. So what's my username? Let's go with Mr. STEM, of course. Okay, what would you like to do? So you have a couple options here. You can add a post to the archive. You can remove a post. You can change user. You can print out everything that's been posted, or you can quit. So let's go ahead and add us a post. What is your message? Let's say, hi, everybody. And we'll go like that. Okay, now let's print, print. Okay, and there it says post 0, Mr. STEM, at today's date, 2017-11/26. At the time, include right down to the millionth of a second there. Hi, everybody. Okay, so let's see. Let's add another one. And we'll say Python is the greatest. Okay. And then we'll print them out again. And there you can see both of them. Hi, everybody. And Python is the greatest. Now, if you want to remove something, remove. And which post do you want to remove? I only have two choices, 0 or 1. Let's go ahead and get rid of 0. And there you go. Now let's print them again. And you can see, oh, Python is the greatest. So we've removed post 0 right here, which said, hi, everybody. If we want to change usernames, we can do that. When you're ready to be done, you can just hit quit, right? And it quits for you. So that's what we're working towards. That's what we're trying to build right here, is kind of this message board thing where you can add messages, remove them, change username, print, and quit. So let's go into what all that is going to look like here. Let's open up the CSE 313 post and the CSE 313 skeleton. Okay, so now in the post right here, all of this has sort of been created for you. And what this is it's a class. So there's a couple things going on here that are pretty interesting. We have the from date time, import date time. So that's basically telling Python to import the date and time so that we can use that. And then we're defining post. So what post is it is a it's an object, or it's a class of objects, and what those are is they're kind of like blueprints, right? So every post is going to have the same basic structure. It's going to have a username attached to it. It's going to have a message attached to it. And those are things that are editable by the user of the program, right? The user can enter in their username and they can enter in the message that they want to post. Now, there are some other properties or assignments that we can make that the user can't change. Well, okay, message they can't change username, they can't change the date and time, and they can't change the post ID. They can't change the post ID number. Those two things are already set for them by the computer. Now, the computer uses, Python uses this self reference to kind of help itself, or to make itself work. Basically, what it does is it assigns each post to this long hexadecimal string, which I've actually seen. It's like a mixture of letters and numbers, and it stores it somewhere in its working memory. Then it can call it out using that. So that's what this self is. It's basically just you're helping the computer realize that, okay, I need to set up a location in memory and save this thing somewhere, and each one of those is going to get a unique self tag. So each post can be individually pulled. Okay, so that's sort of what the init does. It initializes the post. So anytime you create a new post, you have to specify the username, you have to specify the message, the date, time, and the post ID are specified for you. Okay. And then we'll add one to the post ID, right? Just so the next one has, one has the next number, right? If we do post 0, the next one's going to be post 1, on and on. Okay. So now we have these functions right here that set a message, right? They get the username and they get the post ID. So these are going to come in handy later. Think to yourself, what is each one? What is this going to do? What is this going to return? And what will this method will return as well? Okay. So getting into it, this is the actual file, 313skeleton.py. This is the file that you actually have to make changes to, and that you have to modify in order to get the program to run. Okay, so notice that everything with the hashtag right here is known as a comment. That's not something that Python interprets. Or with the triple quotes, right? That's skipped by the program as well. Oh, is it? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So here we go. We're importing posts, right? So we're taking everything from here, the post setup here, and we're pulling it into this file. So it's as if all of this right here had been printed right here, but we don't have to look at the whole thing. That's basically what the advantage of this is. Okay, how will you save? Review okay, we could probably skip this one. What is the username they want to use? So I'm just going to let you guys do something like this, right? Set up like username equals raw input, and then what's your username? That should work out pretty good. Welcome the user to the program. You guys can figure out how to print something to welcome them in, and then store a user input variable in a variable identified by user input, right? You may need to use this statement again to complete the activity. Interesting. Okay, so user input right here, the first one is going to come from their raw input. What would you like to do, right? So remember, first we ask them what's their username, Mr. Stem, and it says welcome, Mr. Stem, and then it says what would you like to do? Would you like to add, remove, change user, print, or quit? So we're asking them what to do. Yes. Okay. So this right here, this while user input does not equal quit. So everything in this while loop right here is just going to keep rolling and rolling and rolling until we type in quit. Okay. So the first thing we're going to have to do is add in a post. So the code for adding in a post, what that is, so let's see. So I'm going to go through one of these for you, actually, for adding a post here. I'm going to leave that in. So I'm going to say if user input equals quotes add, what are we going to do? Now, do we have an empty list for post? Okay, for post in post list. Do we have an empty post list name? I don't think we have to do, we have this right here. So we're going to create this post list equals, and it's going to become an empty string right here. Okay, now as promised, if user input equals add, what are we going to do? We're going to do post list dot append, and then we're going to append in the parameters. We're going to say username, comma, and then we're going to say, what is it? Raw input, what is your message? And now, fingers crossed this is going to work. This is kind of tricky, right? But you can see what we did earlier, right? We're just taking the post list, we're appending something to it, we're adding something to it, and the two parameters we need to add are username and raw input. Now, is this going to work? I feel like it's not, but it might. Post list.append. What is your message? Okay. Equals add, and I forgot to put my quotes in there. That's why it's unhappy with that, or my colon. Okay, now invalid syntax equals raw input. Okay, let's see if we can run this thing. Oh, right. Need the double equal. My bad. Okay, let's run it again. What's your username? Okay, good. So far, so good. Stem. Okay. Oops. We want to add something, and nothing happens. Okay. So does not appear to be working. Let's see here. Oh, do I want to look at the old one? Probably not. Let's see if we can do it. Self username comma message. So I think what I'm missing here is the part where I tell it post list dot append. Let's see here. Where is this one right here? Dot message. Let's see. What do we put here? My bad, guys. Okay, post list. Oh, right. Okay. Forgive me. I had to refresh my memory on how we actually do this. How we do it is we do this. We set up a post first. We set up a variable post where what we do is we create a post right here, right? We create a post from the class where we enter this stuff in here. So let's see if we can take that out. We can. Most excellent. Okay. So now, all right, this should be good. So we're creating a variable called post where we create a post object or post class with their username and the raw input. What is your message? Then we're going to append the post list just using the post, so we're going to kind of basically break it up into two steps rather than one. Now let's run this thing and see what happens. Stem, what would I like to do? Add, what is your message? Hello, y'all. And what is your message? Right now it's just going to keep going and going because we don't have any other else, ifs, etc., etc. I think I'm going to end the video there. Might be a little bit too soon, but I feel like we're already breaking records for length, and I don't want to know if I want to keep rambling on. We'll see how it goes in class. This one might be a little bit tougher to figure out, but anyways, good luck to everybody.